Get your ears wrapped around the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast. All the scoop you need to know, from college basketball to the NBA and even March Madness. News of your rising stars. Topics on and off the hardwood. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast.
Welcome back. Eddie Garcia coming live from Culver City, California. Weather's getting a little hot out here. It looks like it's finally summer. Looks like we're going to have a pretty hot summer, to say the least, say the nicest way possible. It's been nice, it's golf weather. We just had the NFL draft. That was a big, big stuff that happened, but we've got basketball. It's the best time of the year for basketball. It's crunch time where teams kind of separate each other, and we got some playing game drama that I want to get into. Russell Westbrook is absolutely playing on fire. Steph Curry. But first and foremost, I want to congratulate the Knicks on a winning season, first of all. First time since like 2003, I want to say, or something like that. 2013. Long time ago. But first, let's get to the Lakers. The Lakers are a absolute mess. I wanted to hold my recordings till after the game because I wanted to report on that and see how they did, and they finally played with some urgency. They finally played with some passion. They finally played with some heart. They finally played with some momentum. They finally played with something, right? They've been so bad. They've been 3 out of their last 10. They've won 3, lost 7. They lost to Sacramento, a game they should have won. Then they lost to Toronto, another game that they probably should have. I think Toronto's out. Yeah, Toronto's not out yet, but Sacramento Kings are not out yet, but they're pretty close to being out. They just have been playing terrible. LeBron was supposed to be a savior. LeBron was supposed to be back. LeBron was supposed to be playing LeBron AD. Guys, Anthony Davis, and to his credit, or not, and to his defense, he hasn't played in a long time. I'll be the first one to say, right? He hasn't played in a long time, right? So if you're a professional athlete and you haven't played in a while, I get it. Even a normal human, right? A normal human, but obviously not an athlete, right? You could go some time without doing something. Probably not going to be that great at it when you come back, you got to get conditioning right, and it's a calf. Conditioning isn't right. He wasn't playing very assertive to me till tonight. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. He wasn't very assertive. So against the Sacramento Kings and against the Toronto, he didn't look assertive. And to me, to be honest with you, is you could tell a lot by a guy's body language, and his body language was terrible. Even against the Wizards, not great. They beat the Magic. That was their last win. But then they lost back-to-back games against the Mavs. Just didn't look good. Shooter is out 10 to 14 days. Lakers can't catch a break. Hey, it's just one of those seasons. It's a weird year. You're going to have to adapt on the fly. But to get back to the Lakers, tonight, they just looked like a whole different ball club. They almost let it slip. Against Sacramento, lead. Against the Raptors, they had a lead. And they get in these little, droughts. They didn't score in the fourth quarter for 5 minutes. You can't have droughts like that. You just can't. Alex Caruso looked like he was really trying to will a team to win. He had diving for loose balls. Anthony Davis, though, being assertive, aggressive, attacking the paint, not selling for jumpers. He did in the fourth quarter, which really bugged me because he hadn't played like that all game. And I thought, he was being aggressive until the very end. He was being like standoffish, right? Not being aggressive, settling. And to be honest with you, tonight they got bailed out. Taylor Horton-Tucker had a drive in the fourth quarter to put him up by 4. That was a circus shot. Like a circus shot. Marc Gasol off the bench. I want to talk about Marc Gasol here in a little bit. I do. So, the Lakers obviously traded for Andre Drummond, right? Andre Drummond has been... I'm going to go out on a limb and say he hasn't been great for the Lakers. I'm just going to go out and say that. Say whatever you want to me. Just come at me. It's okay. Come at me. I'll take it. I'll be able to take it. But he hasn't been great. He's been actually like... Let's look at the numbers. But to be honest with you, he hasn't been... So he's had 4 points tonight. Let's see. 4 points tonight. He had 19 against Toronto. 17 against Sacramento. But to be honest with you, like... I don't know. I want to be like... He needs LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the floor. Like, he needs them. Like the 19 points against Toronto or the 17 points against Sacramento or the 17 against Washington. Like those are all like the 19 and 17 against those two teams were like him getting putbacks, right? I don't know how much I trust him with his back to the basket. Sometimes he can play a little out of control for my liking. And I don't know. Marc Gasol came out, played with a ton of energy. You could run your offense through Mark. We know that, right? You could just run your offense through him. It's kind of his game. Back to the basket, could make passes. But I think Andre Drummond taking the minutes lit a fire under Marc Gasol, which could help the Los Angeles Lakers. Frank Vogel has some tough decisions to make. Like, how much do you play Trez? How much do you play Mark now? You see Mark's giving you a spark now. Tonight, Montrezl Harrell, 10 minutes, 5 points, 2 blocks. Like, how much are you going to play him? Who's going to get those minutes? Right? Marc Gasol had 17 good minutes tonight. 10 points, 7 rebounds. I think he was a plus 17. Andre Drummond, I don't think he had a rebound tonight. First time in a long time. Yeah, no rebounds. 1 assist, 4 points. 22 minutes. Marc Gasol came in and changed the entire complexity of the game. He changed the game. And I think LeBron being out is going to hurt Andre. Andre Drummond is I said it, he's going to relish until Anthony Davis and LeBron are back. Dennis Schroeder, out 10 to 14 days. That's a tough, big miss. That's basically their third leading scorer. And how do the Lakers, they're in must-win situations, guys. Like, they can't lose. Dallas is right there. Portland's right there. They got the Clippers coming up. That's no easy game. We all know they got the Clippers and then Portland, both on the road. Then they come back and play Phoenix. Those 3 games are going to tell you a lot. I don't know if LeBron's going to play on Thursday. I'm not sure. And I think he'll play in one of the games. I'm not sure if he'll play against the Clippers. I think he's going to play in one of the games. Or he might not play in either one. He's day-to-day ankle. I'm not sure how I watched him play the last 2 games. He doesn't have much lift. No lift. That's scary. That injury, that's going to be a tough one. But I do think, I'm getting a lot of people telling me, oh, you got to rest him till the playoffs. No, you can't rest him till the playoffs. You've got to play at least 5 to 6 games. Like, get the win, right? Get the legs. Because he had an ankle injury. Obviously, he's one of the best, he's been in the best shape possible, but, man, basketball shape is a whole different type of shape. Soccer, whole different type of shape. I mean, you can run all you want, but until you're making the cuts, right? Until you're getting out there, you're getting banged up, running through screens, playing through contact. You don't know. You've got to. It's different. So that's why I think he needs to come back before. But Dennis Schroeder out for 10 to 14 days. So May 3rd, he'll be out obviously this week till Sunday. So he missed the Denver game. He missed the Clipper game. He'll miss Portland. He'll miss Phoenix. So he might not be back till maybe Houston. That in itself is 10 days. So we'll see, man. And these are must-win games for the Lakers. Ben McLemore, Wes Matthews playing huge minutes tonight. There was a unit at one point that the Lakers put out there. Frank Vogel had THT, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Ben McLemore, Marc Gasol, Wesley Matthews, and who was the fourth one? Was it Morris, maybe? And they're the ones that almost gave the Lakers a huge lead. Lakers have a lot of issues. They've got to figure it out though fast. Like I said, they've got these teams right on their heels. Dennis Schroeder's out. It's an uphill battle, right? And everyone said, wait till LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy. I don't know how healthy LeBron's going to be. LeBron said he's never going to be 100% healthy in his career. How healthy is he going to be? I don't know. You know, at one point I thought they were kind of just resting him to get his ankle right, get it back. But this is a significant injury. Playoffs ended today. Lakers are playing the Clippers in the first round. Man, have at it. Have at it. Man. And everyone always said, it doesn't matter what position the Lakers come in, right? Home seeding doesn't matter. It doesn't, but you don't want to be in the play-in game either. You got to win. Lakers got to win. And then I want to get to LeBron's comments. Whoever made this play-in game tournament should be fired. LeBron, settle down, big guy. Settle down. Are you just saying this because you might be in the play-in tournament? Settle down, big guy. I hear you on it. And I am opposed to it as well. You should not play all these regular season games and then be punished. I wouldn't even say punished for it, but you shouldn't be bad teams shouldn't be rewarded. It's basically what I'm saying. Right? They shouldn't be rewarded. You're basically almost giving these teams a second chance. And I get it why they do it. They try to put urgency on the regular season, right? They want you to do well. But I don't think this is the way. This is professional basketball. The wild card game for baseball, I hate that. I hate it. That's a strong H. I hate it. Because, you could have a team that wins 100 games and then play a team that won 80 games, 20 less games, and they could beat you in that one game. So that 100 games that you won really doesn't even matter. Right? And that team that won 20 less games than you has a chance. I don't like that. You were 20 games better than that team. Same thing here in the NBA. Right? You're giving them a second chance. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. And I get why LeBron says that, and I get both sides. I do. But LeBron, you should have said that. You weren't saying that when you were the third seed. And obviously they didn't. Obviously that wasn't they didn't present him with the question, right? But now you're saying that. Obviously you don't like it. Dallas Mavericks didn't like it. They're there now, right? Play better. Play better than regular season. Oh, Eddie's going against LeBron. Yes. I don't like that. I really don't. You know? Just because obviously you're there and, sense of urgency. But no, don't come at me with, that should be fired. They should be fired. But it's not, act like you don't like this game because you're there now, right? That's my point on that. Like I said, I don't like it, but you shouldn't reward bad teams. Basically, it's what I'm going at. Yeah, Vogel's got some serious situations because do you start Gasol now, right? You're seeing Gasol, the offense runs smoother with him defensively. He guarded Jokic. Obviously, the Joker's the MVP, by the way, guys. I'm hearing Chris Paul talk. No, Joker's the MVP. Joker's playing amazing, and PJ Dozier got hurt tonight. Another guy. Nuggets are falling like flies. This injury bug, I seeing Jamal Murray on the bench with a massive knee brace on and a walking stick or a crutch. I'm sorry, literally just bothered me. It bothered me. It bothers me. Young NBA talent hurt. Oh, that bothers me. Kid was a baller. He's out there with his guys, crutch on, shooting free throws. I think he's rehabbing out here in LA. But man, that hurts. Joker's the MVP. Playing out of his mind, kept him in the game tonight. But Gasol did a great job. He came in. Drummond to me sometimes gets a little happy, falls for jump shots or jump for ball fakes. He had 4 quick fouls. Then he came in, drew his 5th on a dumb. He hit somebody on a jump shot. Come on, man. Don't fall for that. That's what they wanted you to do. Don't fall for a jump. Don't fall for a pump fake. Come on, Drummond. You're better than that. But Vogel's got some interesting things to look at. Do you play Trez? How much do you play Trez? How much do you play Drummond? Right? Should have Drummond been the starter in the first place? Why'd you take Gasol out all of a sudden? The Lakers were first in defense with Gasol. Offense was clicking with Gasol. And obviously Gasol's had a very up and down year. I'll be the first to tell you that. I watch every Laker game. He hasn't been great. Some games he struggled a ton. But I really, really think that Drummond coming here has lit a fire under him. That might be what they need. Hey, who knows? Do you start Gasol? I was having a conversation with my buddy who's a big-time Laker fan. And I watch the Lakers as a fan. I do. But I'm also very critical on them. Anthony Davis, I told you guys earlier, wasn't playing great. Today, he finally assertive. Maybe he's getting back in better shape, right? And, yeah. Anthony Davis, though, has to be honest with you, even before Anthony Davis got hurt, he wasn't playing great. He wasn't. I'll be the first one. I think he'll tell you. He wasn't great. He wasn't playing like Anthony Davis. He wasn't playing it like that $30 million man. Oh, no. I think LeBron's greatness this year has hit a lot of Anthony Davis. But tonight was the first night where I saw him assert. He said, I think he was mumbling, we're back. We're back. I hope so, Anthony Davis. The Lakers really, really, really need you to play at a high level. They need him to play he needs to be the man. No and if or buts. He needs to be the man. Like I said, also Denver, Campazzo, kid is for real. Tough kid, man. Tough. He had 8 points tonight. Anthony Davis, blocked him on the last shot, kind of sealed the deal. But man, that guy does not quit. Plays hard. Love his game. Campazzo, big fan. You have a fan here. Michael Porter Jr. played well, 19 points. They struggled a little bit. They're thin. They're struggling a bit. But hey, You know, it's tough. It's tough. Kuz has been playing better as of late, I think. Kuz has been really aggressive. And I always say aggressive Kuz is the best Kuz. Aggressive Kuz just looks more assertive, looks more cutting. He's shooting defensively, coming behind guys to block them. I just like aggressive Kuz. Aggressive Kuz is my favorite Kuz. He's gonna need to play great for them, especially with LeBron James out here. Dennis Schroeder out. I don't know how long. You know, Dennis obviously 2 weeks, and then LeBron, I don't know when he's gonna come back. Hopefully sooner than later. That's my little spin on the Lakers. So much more to get to, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Westbrook has been playing out of his mind. Out of his mind. So much to get to. Appreciate Russell Westbrook. Lakers, finally, get that W. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back on segment 2. The Lakers were my first segment, obviously. I just watched the game, and that was a tough game for the Lakers. So much to get to, though. We got NBA power rankings as well. Curry absolutely goes bananas. Luka has to calm down with the text, man. He gets one more, and he's out. Suspended for a game. Melo moves into 10th all-time in scoring. Believe it or not, my second favorite player of all time. Russell Westbrook, though. Guys, Russell Westbrook has been playing. And I talked about Westbrook. I talked about the Wizards also being a team that no one wants to play right now. You don't want to play them. I told you guys, there's a play-in game. He's not the guy you want. Guys, he had 21 rebounds, career high. 24 assists on a bad team. 24. Do you guys understand? If you guys don't know what an assist is when you pass the ball to someone and then they score. 24 of those. And then 14 points. Guys, if you go play like 2K, you can't. And I'll give you 12-minute quarters. You won't have 24 assists. He has 32 triple-doubles now. Passing Wilt Chamberlain for fourth most all time. Guys, it's bananas what he's doing. Like bananas. Give a man respect. First player with 20 assists and 20 rebounds. One other guy. He's done it twice. Russell Westbrook, man. On a bad team to put up that many assists is like crazy. He has more triple-doubles, 178, than Kobe Bryant. A top 5 player had double-doubles. Think about that for a second. So we all know how great Kobe was, right? With double-doubles, he probably, he rebounded, he assisted. To his credit, he wasn't the best passer. Shout out Kobe and Mambacita. Russell has had 178 triple-doubles. Kobe had 176 double-doubles. 6'3" guard, 30 years old, out of UCLA. Local kid from where I'm from. He's probably maybe 10, 15 minutes from where I'm at right now. You guys know I show my guys love. Like, guys, Russell Westbrook, though, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, that's a given. You know, Thunder, they're going to build a statue for the guy. They just will. But, like, these numbers he's putting up, what is he averaging this year? Let's go see. I know he's making a ton of lettuce. I love that. I think next year he makes $42 million. Yeah, he's making 41 right now. I think he makes like 40 some odd. Let's see what he's averaging this year. 14. Oh, no. He's averaging 22 points. Only basically 5 turnovers, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Don't take this man for granted, guys. Please don't. We do this all the time with good players, and we like nitpick at them, and we like get on them. Russell Westbrook falls under that category. Like, he falls under that category where people are like, no, he didn't do this right. No, but he did that. He didn't do this right. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We probably won't ever see this ever again. Unless averaging a triple-double, like, that's insane, guys. You're not supposed to do that. They're 30-35 now. They're just a couple games out of the play-in game. They play Milwaukee. Then they play Toronto, who's tough. They just beat the Lakers. Indiana, Atlanta, Cleveland, and then Charlotte. All winnable games. They're all winnable games. And they are... Let's see how many games they're out. Ooh, they're in the play-in game right now. And I told you guys. We go back to my podcast. 2 teams you don't want to play in a play-in game. Washington and the Warriors. And they're both in that play-in game right now. They're both in it. You don't want to play Steph. You don't want to play Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, leading scorer in the NBA right now. Don't want to play him. Boston, don't want to play him. Charlotte, don't want to play him. Indiana, don't want to play Washington. Guys, Russell Westbrook, for real. For real. Like, it's crazy how good he's playing. Carmelo Anthony, though. Let's catapult to Carmelo Anthony, New York guy. Obviously played with the Knicks, played with the Denver Nuggets. I actually had his jersey on the Nuggets. One of my favorite players, like I said, all time. I try to model my game after him. You know, I'm a bigger guy that could shoot. But, what a career. What a career. Obviously, at the beginning of his career, a little selfish with the Nuggets, right? Can Carmelo ever win? In New York, can Carmelo ever win? Like, is he good enough to lead a team? He took a lot of heat. Changed his game, though, here in Portland. A lot of people were like, oh, you know, Carmelo has to start. He said, I need to start. I'm not coming off the bench. But he figured out his role. He's not that guy anymore. He's not that big-time guy anymore. He's not that leading scorer anymore. Checked his ego at the door. He knows it's Lillard's team. He knows it's CJ's team. He's there for support. Been nothing but a great teammate. Best Olympian of all time, right? Gold medalist. We thought, you know, if he was ever going to be able to play back in the league again, a lot of teams quit on him. Portland said, hey, come on board. A lot of teams weren't going to give him a shot. His quote, I was out of the league. I persevered. I stayed strong. I stayed true to myself, and now I'm here. Top 10 of all time. Scoring. Guys, if you're too young to see Melo, go YouTube Melo. Go YouTube Melo on the Nuggets. Like, just go. Braids Melo. Obviously, he still has braids now, but go check him out. Nuggets Melo, guys. was filthy. Filthy. That's where he became my favorite player there with the Nuggets. So fun to watch. Great professional. Obviously, like I said, he took some heat in New York because he wanted to be that guy. He just did. And obviously it didn't work out for him. He took a lot of heat for it. New York was tough on him. But looked in the mirror, changed his game a little bit. I wouldn't say he changed his game. He just kind of took a step back. Like, he knows he's not that guy anymore, right? Like, still score at a high level. You need a basket, you could just literally throw it to him on the block. You can't guard him on the block. He's too big. He still got, he can't blow by you quite the same way you used to. But, man, see a bucket. Bucket getter. I love Melo. It's not, like, Melo's my guy. Looks like did they lose tonight? Yeah, they lost tonight to the Hawks. Tough loss. They're right on the hunt with the Lakers. But let's see what Melo's stats are looking like. Took a huge pay cut, too. He's 36 now. But, man. Yeah, he's averaging almost 14 points. 3 rebounds. 40% from 3. Averaging 25 minutes a game. Hoodie Melo. Braids Melo. 3 of the head Melo. Whatever you want to call him, 00 Melo. Man, good for him. 10,000 points. Or more than 10,000 points, I'm sorry. Moved into top 10, I wanted to say. Good for Melo, man. Pumped for him. The Golden State Curries are back in full effect. Guys, I told you guys, don't want to play them. You don't. He had 41 tonight against the Pelicans. 41. They do not deserve Steph in San Francisco. They just don't. He's played out of his mind. He's kept them afloat, man. And he's tearing it up right now. Tearing it up. Shooting from threes, shooting from wherever, coming off screens, coming off, driving to the basket, putting the team on his back. Like, man. Dropped Eric Bledsoe tonight. 3 over Zion. Man. Fun to watch. Explosive. A lot of people thought he was washed, including myself. I'll be the first to tell you. I thought Steph was maybe done. I thought he was out of the league. Or not out of the league. Shut up, Eddie. He wasn't out. I never thought he was out of the league. I never thought that. But I thought he was on his way, like, his good years are kind of behind him. I thought he needed Kevin Durant. I thought he needed Klay Thompson. Obviously he does, right? Just for their sake of, like, playing, right? Because Draymond is just, I don't think he's very much help. Draymond said it right, though. Teams are terrified of Steph. Like, he's putting the team on his back. Last couple games against the Nuggets, win. Kings win. Dallas lost. Timberwolves lost. They have bad games where they lose. They lost against the Timberwolves. They were down big. Beat the Rockets. Beat the Pelicans. He's probably going to beat the Pelicans again. But just playing out of his mind. What's he averaging in the last 10? This is going to be fun to see. Last 10 games, 35 points, 4 turnovers, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Put his team on his back. He was a plus 19 tonight. No way to stop him. Can't close out, blow right by you. Give him a shot. You obviously can't give him a shot. He's going to bury it right in your face. The baby face assassin. They're playing. I'd be scared to play that. I don't want to play him. I'm any fan base. Don't play Steph. And the way to guard him is maybe like let other guys score. To take the ball out of his hands, but he's so elusive that like he gets the ball right back. They they obviously play around him. I want to get to Luka. Luka's been Luka's been Luka, right? He's been great. But he's got 14 technicals, guys. If he gets one more, he gets suspended for a game. Luka has been known. He's young, right? Still working his way through the NBA, trying to get calls, whatnot, right? But the only Luka's my second. You guys know Luka's my second favorite player in the NBA. He is, right? Fun to watch. Everybody likes to watch Luka. But he complains a lot. Like, he likes to complain. He wants every call. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with young guys wanting every call. He wants every call. Never fouls. What else? You know what I mean. He's young. Start learning his way through the NBA. But that's just kind of the way it goes, right? And he gets teed up a lot. He's a little bit of a hothead. He's a competitor. He's tough. He's only 22, right? Third year in the NBA. So he's a baller, though. Can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me he's not a baller. Yeah, 28, 8, and 9 this year, basically. You know, he hasn't had Porzingis has been in and out of the lineup. Jalen Brunson's been kind of their second best player, honestly. Even though they do have what's his name? Hardaway Jr. He's been playing well. But he got ejected in the last game against the Kings. And he didn't think it was a foul. And like I said, he's young. He doesn't think he fouls. Kind of still learning his way with the officials. To his defense, officials have been very quick to throw kids out now, and I'm not a fan of that. Come on, man. I hate double technicals. Like, how are you gonna punish both of them? Unless they both do something, I get. But if it's get one guy. I hate the double technical. I hate the double fouls. But Luka, man, you just gotta be smart, man. Team needs you. Everybody knows that Mavericks go as Luka goes. The Mavericks are not very good without Luka. And obviously he's a superstar. Kind of like what a lot of these big time players, the effect on their team, but more so him. Porzingis is so almost made out of glass, that guy. You don't know what he's gonna give you, right? But Luka's just gotta be a little bit smarter. He's a little bit of a hothead, right? All these guys are. All these guys want fouls. All these guys want to go to the basket. They expect a call. The refs have it tough too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the refs are have it easy. They've got a tough job. But refs also got to be. I think they got to bite. I hate how happy they've got over the years with technicals. They just throw them out now. Right? I don't like that. Just give a little bit. You should be able to talk. You should be able to have some heat. You should be able to be mad. Heat of the moment, I'm sure you are mad, right? No one wants a foul. But it's the heat of the moment. These guys got so much emotion going into the game. And I don't want to be banging officials. I mess with officials way too much. Baseball's got a huge issue. Baseball's been bad this year. But baseball refs they want the rope out there. They've been that bad where I think that's going to be gone. But in the NBA, everything is these guys are so fast, so they're playing so above the rim. They're everything's fast. Refs need a break, man. But Luka better be careful, man. He's one out, and the Mavericks are going to be one out too. Big games coming up for these for the Mavs. The Mavs are in must-win situation. They were tied with the Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers. They've got Miami, tough game. Brooklyn, tough game. Got Cleveland back-to-back. They should beat those two. Memphis, another tough team. New Orleans, not very good. Toronto, tough team. And then Minnesota, you don't know what Minnesota you're getting. But my point in all this is if you don't have Luka for Miami, you're probably not going to win. If you don't have Luka with Luka, Brooklyn's going to be a tough game. If you don't have Luka for Cleveland, that's going to be, you're very beatable without Luka. You're not beating Memphis, you're not beating New Orleans, you're not beating Toronto, and it's probably going to be a good game against Minnesota, right? So I don't know how that goes for the playoffs too. I don't know if you could still. I'm not sure how that works. Like if he gets a technical there, like what happens, right? I don't know, but yeah, he's got to be smart. He's got to be alert. He's got to know that his team really needs him. Guys, these last 2 weeks, though, man. The last 2 weeks are going to be huge. Like, what are we going to get? What are we going to get? So many good games. And every game matters now. Coming down to the stretch where you have to win. Monday, there was a good slate of games tonight. And then tomorrow night, let's see, an impactful game. Milwaukee, they beat Brooklyn earlier. We'll talk about that here a little bit later on the show. What that means for me, what I thought. Milwaukee beating Giannis took a ton of shots. KD took a ton of shots. That's what you want to see, though. That's what you want to see. I'm all for that. Miami, Dallas, that's going to be a good game. Golden State plays in New Orleans again. New Orleans is going to have to play with a little bit of vengeance, I think. Toronto against the Clippers. Toronto, guys. Kyle Lowry. Like, the Lakers probably regret not trading for him. He lit them up. He lit the Lakers up. They play the Clippers tomorrow night. That should be a good game, I think. Paul George playing good of late. Clippers are playing good of late. Tough team. I think they're the best team in the West right now. I'll talk about my other favorite teams in the West. We got a lot more to get to on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about the East, obviously. MVP race, I think, is wrapped up. Joker, my MVP. Much more to get to, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. Hold tight.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're back on the show where we talk all the best basketball. I talked a little bit about the Lakers here in the last segment. Talk about how great Russ is. And I wanted to get to the Nets and the Bucks a little bit, right? Have we got to the point now where we are almost bored, right? A lot of sports fans, we get bored, right? Like, we get bored of things. So, like I was talking about earlier, like, man, I'm looking at this bet. Hold on, I'm reading my notes, and this guy had a parlay. Danny Green 4 threes. Sorry for the side note. Sadiq Bey 5 threes. Hachimura over 25. He bet $45 to win $29,000. Have a night. Shout out to that guy. But anyway, like, do we get bored? Like, do we get bored of certain things in sports, right? Like, do we just like come to accustomed to like LeBron James, right? That's for first instance. Do we get bored of like Russell Westbrook triple doubles, right? Do we get bored of that? Do we get bored of like Giannis, right? Like, his numbers. Do we get bored of that? Right? Like, is it like we don't appreciate it, or do we get bored? Because Giannis right now is having just as good as a year as he would be in his MVP years, right? Like, his numbers this year, if you look at his numbers this year, and you look at the last 2 years where he was a MVP, the numbers are just as good. Like, are we bored of it? Like, or is it just because he got bounced in the playoffs that we just don't really pay too much attention to it? Right? Like, he averaged, 28 points this year. He's averaging 28 points this year, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, basically. Like, those are good numbers. Are we, like, what's the deal? Team is in a top team in the East. Are we just bored of it? Like, why is he not higher in the MVP talks? Even though I talked to you guys earlier, Jokic is a lock for the MVP. Like, that, the MVP race is over. Julius Randle today tried to say that he was in the MVP consideration. Calm down, big guy. Calm down. You know? You're having a good year. Calm down. Most improved player. Calm down. Calm down. But, like, Giannis, right? Like, are we just bored of it? And the other night, they beat the Nets, right? And he went head-to-head, kind of an old-school battle. Punches thrown, right? Not in fight-wise, but, like, Kevin Durant and him just went head-to-head. Giannis took 36 shots. KD took 33. Like, these are good games. Like, and obviously this year's been a weird year. And this was one of those games that, like, it was a good game this year. And it's almost rare now, to be honest with you. Like, we're not getting very many good games. They're either, like, blowouts or they're just not good games. Right? But this year we've got, like, this was a good game. This was a marquee matchup. Kevin Durant was playing. Obviously no Harden. And I want to talk about that Harden injury here in a second. But, like, Giannis, 49 points. Kevin Durant, 42. Old school, brawl. My best against your best. Giannis kind of made a little statement, right? He had a good game. KD obviously had a good game. 42 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Kyrie, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff, 7 points. Joe Harris has to be better, 5 points. 1 of 5 of 3. DeAndre Jordan, 10 points. Guys, Blake Griffin has, like, I'll talk about this here in a second, too. I want to get to that, too. Like, these buyout market guys, right? I'm going to get to that here in a second. Buyout market. And James Harden's injury, I got to get to that. So, like, but the thing I want to get about Giannis is, like, we forget about him. And obviously, he's Giannis, back-to-back MVPs, right? Good years. But, like, they remind me a lot of the Clippers this year. Them and the Clippers almost have the same situation. Identical situation, I personally think, right? So, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis aren't going anywhere, right? That's their core. Financially, they're very invested in them, right? Now, for the Clippers, you have Kawhi, Paul George, and who else do they guys, I was looking at their numbers today. They have they have close to like $150 million next year, dude, money. And they still have roster spots to fill. Like, they paid Morris a ton of money, but let's get back to this, right? So that's what they are, right? They're not going anywhere, right? Are people kind of just, like, over them? Like, have we taken them for granted almost? Are we not amused by Giannis anymore? Like, Russell Westbrook had to have this crazy, like, resurgence for people to start caring again. Because it was getting boring. You're having triple-double every night. That's boring. Appreciate it. We've got to start appreciating these great things here in sports. Like, Giannis is a freak. And I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon to tell you. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. Until Giannis develops a three-point shot or a mid-range shot, I'm going to pay attention to him. 4 for 8 from 3. How do you listen to me? Watch me. Right? 21 for 36 from the field. Eddie, I'm shooting. Listen to me. Watch me. Okay. I'm watching. Got my attention now. PJ Tucker, 3 points. They don't need him to score. Guys, PJ Tucker is going to be a great pickup for this team. He knows how to guard guys. He's tough. He's gritty. For me, is like, that's what Alex Caruso is for the Lakers, personally, I think. Like PJ Tucker. Guys that just do dirty work. They don't care if they score. They just hustle plays, loose balls, anything. Just any way to win. They just want to win, basically. But the Brooklyn Nets, like, does this scare me for the Brooklyn Nets? No. Like, Giannis is not going to go. If Giannis goes 4 for 8 from 3 again, I'll come on the show and I'll tell you, okay, Giannis, you got me. Until then, I'm not, the Bucks, I love Jrue Holiday. Most underrated player in the NBA. I love Jrue Holiday. I always get in arguments about this. Like, people always tell me, like, hey, Jrue Holiday's this, that. No, he's a great point guard. And I'm watching the game right now. They're playing in the Bucks are playing the Nets right now. Chris Middleton down the floor kicks it out. They're just a fun team. Forbes is good for them too. Forbes just hit a mid-range jumper for them. 12 points. Yeah, he's a little energizer bunny off the bench. But like the Bucks, like what are their expectations? Are they like one and done? Or are they like playoff team? Are they conference final? I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? I just don't think they're like I think Philly and the Nets are better, personally. Like I like eye tests, right? I'm a big eye test guy. I love standings, I love stats, but if I see the way you play, I'd rather that than like a stat. Like LeBron, he had the other night, he had a solid game, but like if you watch the game, he did not look fine. He didn't look like he was running right. He just didn't look right. That's the eye test for me. Like if you just woke up and looked at the stats, you'd probably thought, oh, LeBron, not a bad game. But did he really? And we just got the news he's out for the next 2 nights. 2 big games for the Lakers. They've got the Clippers and they got Phoenix, so good luck with that. But let's get back to like James Harden being out. So James Harden has been out. We don't know for how long. We obviously don't know. We don't know how much like is this Harden injury like more than what it was? And it's a hamstring injury too, right? That's a tough one. Like, are we just like convinced that the Nets are gonna be able to roll out a team and just like beat everybody? Like, are we convinced by that? Are we just like not worried about like stamina, physique, the jumper, chemistry? Like, are we just not worried about that anymore? Because personally, I have said on this show multiple times, I will not give you guys my opinion on the Brooklyn Nets until they are fully healthy. And we might not get that. James Harden may not come back to the playoffs. And we all know James Harden struggles in the playoffs. We all know them. They're real. They've been there. We've seen that for years now. So don't tell me like, oh, James Harden is just going to come back and it's going to be all smiles and... No. Guys, I am legit worried about that injury. Call me crazy. Call me whatever you want. Eddie, Kevin Durant did it. Okay, Kevin Durant is arguably the best player in the NBA. Arguably the best player in the NBA. LeBron 1, KD 2. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me that anybody else is better. Don't tell me Giannis is better. Don't tell me that Joker is better. Joker's having a better MVP-like season, yes, but he's not better than them two. Who else? Curry. No, Curry's having a great year. Curry's obviously playing phenomenal basketball, and then Draymond today had the nerve to say teams are terrified of Steph. Yeah, no kidding, Draymond. Of course they're scared of Steph. I've said this for the longest time. You don't want to play the Warriors and you don't want to play the Washington Wizards. You don't. Yeah, no kidding. Teams are scared of Steph. Terrified. I wouldn't want to see a team with Stephon. No kidding, Draymond. Are you kidding me? He's killing it. But this Harden injury, guys, I don't know about you guys, but I'm worried. Like, Kyrie, I don't know how he's going to show up. He's having a good year. But, like, is he going to feel right to play in the playoffs? Like, honestly, is he? I don't know. Like, which Kyrie are we getting? You know what KD you're getting. At this point, we know what Kyrie we're getting. Like it's just like a fact, right? Like, he's just a baller. Jump out of bed. Play. It looks like, so I'm reading his, what day is it today? Oh, we're in May. But it's telling me Harden suffered a setback during Monday's rehab session and will be sidelined indefinitely to undergo MRI. Guys, he's your second best player. We all know what happens, like, when it comes down to it, right? Like, is Kyrie going to be there? We know KD's going to be there. Let's see. Let me see what Kyrie's doing tonight. 12 points, okay. Leads the team. I can rock with that. 12 points, good. All right. And you guys hear me knock Kyrie. The reason why I knock Kyrie is because he's so good. He's so gifted. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. Best finisher around the basket ever. Around the basket, no one I have never seen. And I talk from 93 on because I was born in 93. I don't talk about guys that I don't see. That's kind of my rule. I just don't. It's not my rule. It's not my. I'm an eye test guy, so I've got to see that. I've got to see them. Kyrie around the basket, you can have 4 or 5 guys on him. All these arms, he's gonna put it in. Doesn't matter how he puts it on the glass. He's gonna put it in. Right? But then Kevin Durant, like, guys, guy could jump out of bed and ball. But the James Harden injury does scare me. The buyout market. So I want to talk about the buyout market a little bit. Andre Drummond for the Lakers. We're going to see. We got to see LeBron on the floor. Blake Griffin, though, guys? Blake Griffin was BSing the Detroit Pistons. He was BSing them. Guys, they're gonna maybe play him. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see what he's been averaging. 18, 24, 14, 22, 27. So he's averaging the last 10. He's averaged 22 minutes. He's gonna give him a solid 11. A solid 15 minutes where he could go out and score. He could play defense a little bit. All of a sudden, he's playing defense now. He's running Giannis. Obviously, that didn't work out very well, but he's going to give you a solid 12, 15 minutes. Like, a very good 12, 15 minutes. That's worked out for the Nets. I really do. He was BSing then. PJ Tucker. They obviously can't put him on the floor with another guy that can't score. You can't, just modern day NBA, you can't have you can't have 2 guys that can't score. Bottom line, it just can't happen. Like, spacing, all that good stuff. It just doesn't work. So you need maybe one guy. So PJ Tucker has to. They've got to figure that out. So I think where they play him with guys, just shooters or Giannis or whatnot. But he's gonna be able to guard like the James Hardens of the world. He's gonna be able to guard like maybe like Tobias Harris, right? He's gonna be able to guard like. Let's see. Let me look at the East. Yeah, he's gonna buy Tobias on the 76ers. He's gonna be able to guard James Harden on, KD for spurts of time. Obviously, you're not slowing guys like that down. Maybe guard like Julius for a little bit, right? But yeah, he Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, just going through teams in the East that James, he's a dog on defense, and I've talked about that before. You're not stopping him. Loose balls, you're not winning them. I've talked about that. You're just not. I want to get to teams that have the most to lose as well. Like, should I get into that now? I'll get into a little bit now. So, we've got an NBA preview, right? Actually, should I save that for my last segment? Yeah, let's save that for the next segment. I'll get to that because I really want to go in on that. Like, I want to get into that teams with the most pressure, and I only have a couple of minutes left right now, and I'll get into it in my next segment where I talk about that. Teams that have the most pressure, maybe like blowing up, and it's gonna be more than I'm gonna go on a little bit of rant. But let's get to like games that are coming up. So the Cleveland against the Phoenix Suns are going now. There was a thing on Colin Sexton. I don't want to read into it too much, but apparently teams are making fun of them because Colin Sexton dribbles the ball, and they're saying, why are you trying to be open? He's not going to pass you the ball. Cleveland's got a huge problem with Coach Beilein. Is Coach Beilein even there anymore? He should have never left Michigan in the first place. But anyway, Sexton, he's averaging 23 points, which is not bad for a guy like that on a bad team. But it's funny that teams are making fun of, like why are you getting ready? He's not going to pass you the ball. I think that's hilarious. Like, that's hilarious, guys. Poor Cleveland. Like, they are in such a mess. Like, I don't think if they'll ever come back. And I thought that was so funny, though. I thought it was hilarious. They're losing right now to the Phoenix Suns. To the Chris Paul, the master of disaster. Deserves some MVP consideration. He's another guy people got bored of. Chris Paul. Like, all of a sudden now, people are like, Chris Paul could play again? Guys, he never left. Chris Paul's been doing this everywhere. He gets straight into the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're like, hey, we're going to trade you. We're going to do this for you. Like, no, I'm going to win there. That's what he's done. Right? That's another guy. Like, where was Chris Paul? He's been balling, guys. It didn't work out in Houston, but apparently he wasn't the problem. Houston had bigger problems than Chris Paul. A lot bigger problems than Chris Paul. Charlotte is up on Detroit, 64-59. Brooklyn's down right now by 5 in the second quarter. Miami, Dallas. We'll be watching closely on Luka's demeanor there, 39-30. Golden State Warriors are up on the New Orleans Pelicans, 36-32. Sacramento is up by 1. And then Toronto against the Clippers tonight. And Toronto is a good team. Guys, Kyle Lowry went off on the Lakers the other night. No for butts. He killed the Lakers the other night. I think he had 40-some-odd points. Him and Siakam killed us. But the Lakers have bigger fish to fry. I've got, excuse me, I've got power rankings coming up. And then I've also got teams with the most pressure this playoffs. I'll give you a heads up. It's Portland, Celtics, Clippers. Hang on after this brief message. I'll be right.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting for this topic. What teams this year have the most to lose and why? Like, what happens? Should I say when these teams lose or if they lose? So, to me, to be honest with you, we probably have legit championship contenders. Like, legitimately. I'm going to say Sixers, Nets, and then Lakers and the Clippers. Those are my 4 legitimate teams that, like, they get into a series, they'll beat you 4 times, right? None of these other teams, like Milwaukee, no. Knicks, like, well, they'll be fun. The Hawks will be fun. Miami will be fun. Celtics will be interesting. Charlotte will be fun, right? Pacers, interesting. The Wizards will be fun, right? Now we go to the West. Utah will be fun. Phoenix will be fun. Denver will be, I don't know. Clippers will be interesting. Lakers, interesting. Dallas will be fun. And then Portland will be fun, and the Warriors will be fun. Guys, if it ended right now, Golden State would play Utah, Portland would play the Suns. Those are 2 tough first-round opponents. So all right, so let's get into it. I said, what are the 3 teams that have the most to lose? Like, what direction do they go? No specific order. Portland, Celtics, and the Clippers. Those are 3 teams, guys. If they lose, like, call me crazy, but if Boston loses, they've got to change something up. Like Brown, Tatum, Smart, Brad Stevens, Danny Ainge. Who's going to be out? Somebody's going to have to go out because Boston has traded Kemba Walker. Boston has traded, they have all these first round picks, right? They've done all this. They traded guys to do what? After a certain time, things have to show up, right? Like, you've got to do things at this point. Like, what happens next? Right? Like, you know, the Celtics? We've been waiting. Oh, wait, just wait. You just wait now. Guys, it's been like 3 or 4 years where we've been waiting now for the Celtics. Did they miss their window? I think so. There's a championship window that you've got to capitalize. Like, Tatum and Brown can only take you so far. Marcus Smart, he's probably going to get traded. Got a lot of money coming up. Probably going to get traded. Tristan Thompson, that didn't work, you know. Brad Stevens, you maybe see a shakeup up there. I don't know. But something's got to give. And a lot of the times, the coaches are the first ones to go. Obviously, Brad Stevens is so highly respected around the NBA, you don't want to lose a guy like that, but maybe you need a new voice. Maybe you need a new something, right? Like the Bucks, they just got Drew Holiday. They might give it another year. The Bucks might give it another year. But like after that, like they don't win next year. Like, what's the next step? Philly, what was their next step? Like Doc Rivers put them over that hump, right? Now they've got an identity. They're playing tough. It's Joel Embiid's team. They took that step. They fired their coach. But give them 2 years, right? Maybe 2 years, I think. The Nets, new team. They've got some time. Milwaukee, older team. And then Portland. Let's get back to my teams. Boston, Portland, and the Clippers. So Portland, right? Portland's so interesting. Every year, man. Charles Barkley even put like $1 million, I want to say, or $500,000 on that team. They tried Melo. They traded for Robert Covington. They gave Harry Giles money. Like, they traded for Derek Jones. And his cancer. Like, they traded Rodney Hood. They traded Gary Trent Jr. 2 really good players. For Norman Powell. Like, they're not sitting very pretty. What place are they in? They're in the playing game, I think, right now. Guys, Portland Like, Dame has talked about all these years being, like, loyal to the Portland Trailblazers. Guys, if he doesn't win, one of the two guys are getting traded. You've got to make something up. It's not working. And I don't think they're going to win. I really don't. Like, I don't even know if they'll make it to the conference finals. I don't. I just don't. Like, Dame, I love Dame. Dame's one of my favorite players in the NBA, but, like, CJ, another good... Is Nurkic ever going to be healthy? Like, do you completely blow it up? Portland's been right there every year. Carmelo's kind of worked out, right? But, like, they haven't taken that next step. Last year, get beat by the Lakers. Was that first round? Yeah, first round they get beat by the Lakers. Guys, Celtics, Portland, somebody's got to go. Terry Stotts is another good coach. Usually the coach is a scapegoat. Like, how much does the organization take? Right? Like, how much do you take? How much, like, leeway do you give them? Guys, somebody's got to be on the hot seat. Somebody's got... I'm telling you. Then my last team is the Clippers. Clippers. I talked about them earlier. They're a lot to me like... they're a lot like the Bucks in the East. No one's really talking about them. Last year they had all this hype coming into the season. They've lost 3 straight. Everyone was talking about the Clippers this last year. And then they get bounced, right? They got all that drama in the bubble. So what do? Let go of Doc Rivers. Look to be one of the best coaches in the NBA. Bye. Ballmer wants to win. He's not playing that anymore. More money. Marcus Morris. He's making $15 million a year. It's going to be more next year. Rajon Rondo and Zubats are going to be owed $15 million with the two of them. Guys, this is not little money. That's a lot of money. And to be bounced in the second round, Ballmer's not having that. Ballmer's not doing that. Something's got to give. I'm a firm believer. They don't win this year. Kawhi's gone. And if Kawhi decides to stay, they're trading Paul George. They're tired of that. They're going to be tired of Paul George not showing up in the postseason, having great regular seasons, teasing you, then showing up, not do anything. Now, if they win, good for them. Kawhi's going to get a big extension, and it's going to be happy in Clipperland. If not, you've got to move, guys. Paul George, I'm sorry, but that didn't work out. Kawhi, he might leave. Kawhi might go to Miami. We know that. Kawhi is you don't know what he's thinking. You don't know how he feels. You don't know much about him. He's banged up. Is he hurt? Is he lying? Is he load management? What's the deal? But man, guys, something's got to give. I talk about that all the time. Like, something's got to give. Like the Lakers, they got Anthony Davis for the next couple of years. Not worried about it, right? Young talent, right? Won a championship. Championships heal it all. Championships, I'm a big baseball fan. I'm a Dodger fan. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager. Not a very good manager. A lot of talent. Not a very good manager. He won a championship, though. It's going to win him it's going to give him at least 2 to 3 years of just like, they're not going to fire him. They just won a championship. You're not going to fire him. Right? That's how it works. But, like, Celtics, They've done everything. They've traded for first rounders. They've done this. They've done that. They signed extensions. What's going to give? Something's got to give. Portland, they've done all this. They've traded a ton of good players. Like, what are they going to do? I'm telling you guys. You think things is sweet, but not in the NBA. Things you are going to start seeing teams blow them up. Celtics, Portland, Clippers. 3 teams that, look out. They don't win. It's blow up time. Blow up time. Those are my 3 teams who I think will be, I give Philly a couple more years. Give Bucks maybe a year or 2. They just got, their kind of their core assembled, I would say, with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis. But, yeah, look for that. Let's get into the power rankings. Outsiders looking in. Number 14, Boston, who we know Boston. You never really know what you're getting out of them. Miami, I talked about them. They've been up and down all year. Let me see what else. Why is my computer freezing on me? Atlanta Hawks coming in at 12. Fun teams, These are teams that to me aren't going to, like when it all said and done, like, are you scared of them? Like, are you scared? Like, are you really scared of the Hawks? No. Portland coming in at 11. Portland's got to win. They've got Atlanta. I think they're playing Atlanta right now. I played. Let's see when I played them. Portland's got Atlanta this week. Cleveland, games they should win. The Lakers, and then San Antonio. All winnable games, right? But you just don't know like how healthy, these guys are. So those are their 4 games coming up. Dallas has got Miami, Brooklyn, Cleveland, and Cleveland. Dallas is coming in at the 10. Last week at the 9. The Mavs. They're trying to avoid the play-in tournament. Luka hates it. If they ended it today, they'd be a 5 seed. So, Kristaps Porzingis. They're hoping they could join them here pretty soon. Guy, I feel bad for Kristaps, man. He's always hurt. Luka can't get another technical, man. Get one more technical, you miss a game, and Dallas goes as Luka goes, man. That's a team that's they rely on Luka so much. They need Luka more than anybody. The Lakers coming in at 9. They've beat Denver yesterday. Big win for them, but they lost to Sacramento and Toronto. Tough losses. You got the Clippers on Thursday, which is not going to be easy. Then they go up to Portland in a back-to-back. No LeBron. And they've got Phoenix. That's a tough one. Looks like Anthony Davis played aggressive yesterday. They're going to need him to play that aggressive. They're going to need him to be the guy. Dennis Schroeder out for 10 days due to COVID. Tough. Lakers have got it's a tough time here in LA. New York Knicks coming in at 8. They're playing well. Hottest team in the NBA right now. They clinched a playoff berth and home court in the first round. Good for them. New York is up a game and a half on the Hawks, 2.5 on the Heat. Good for them. They deserve it. New York's basketball is better. They've got Memphis, Denver, Phoenix, and the Clippers this week. No easy task, and I know they play the Lakers at some point as well. I think right after that. Coming in at 7, we've got the Clippers. Last week they're at 4. They fell. They played Toronto tonight, which is a game I'm looking forward to. Then they got the Lakers at home, and then they got the Knicks. So not an easy task for them. Serge Ibaka is still out. I guess he's close. Patrick Beverley's close. Kawhi Leonard, though. They're so weird, man. They were playing so well, and then they dropped 3 of their last games. So interesting to see how that'll play out with them. Kawhi, one of the teams I'm telling you guys, they don't win. They're gonna blow it up. You heard it here first. Clippers don't win, they blow it up. One of them's gone. They don't win this year. Who else do we got? Milwaukee Bucks coming in at 6. Flying under the radar. They beat Brooklyn on Sunday. Currently, they are up by 6 points here in the third quarter. So Miami looking good. They got Washington, which is no easy task. Russell Westbrook has been playing tough. They've got Houston, who they should beat. So unless they have like a major letdown, so look out for them. Coming in at 5th, the Nuggets. They had a tough loss against the Lakers last night. They're still. I feel bad for them, man. They're so banged up. Jamal Murray's out, right? No Will Barton, no Monte Morris, no PJ Dozier got hurt last night. Michael Porter Williams is playing tough. Michael Porter Jr., I'm sorry. Playing great basketball. He stepped it up. Good for him. Jokic is your MVP. That's over. Talked about it last week, but I was in... Joke was on me. Joker is the MVP. So we'll see, right? We'll see how they've got the Lakers. Obviously, they lost the Lakers. They got the Knicks. They got Utah and Brooklyn. That's a tough stretch. Brooklyn coming in at 4. They've got Milwaukee. They're losing to now. Then they got Dallas and then at Denver. Good games, man. It's coming down the stretch for them. James Harden is still out. I still think they miss James Harden. James Harden is one of the best players in the NBA. Kevin Durant playing well. We don't know what Kyrie we're getting. I've talked about that a lot on my show. Philly, 3-hole. They beat San Antonio in overtime game. Ben Simmons with a tip back. They have Chicago, Houston, New Orleans, Detroit. They should sweep that this week. They should handle business. Joel Embiid, show me what you're made of. They should handle that pretty easily. Utah coming in at 2. Last week they were 1. Donovan Mitchell, sprained ankle. Mike Conley, little hip tightness. So they've got San Antonio twice, and they got Denver and Houston. All very winnable games. Utah is very interesting to me. They might have the Lakers or the Clippers in a first-round matchup, which you don't want. You don't want that. Yeah, you don't want to play those. I think those are the 2 best teams in the West. Phoenix, good for Phoenix, man. First place. They've got Cleveland, Atlanta. Hold on, let me get back to the Jazz. I said that already. Phoenix, number 1 team. They've got Cleveland, Atlanta, New York Knicks, and the Lakers. That Lakers game, man, that's going to be a good one. And I want Phoenix to do well. Haven't made the playoffs in a decade. They just clinched a playoff berth. Good for them. Good for Phoenix, man. Chris Paul, though. I've told you guys, you hear a lot of Chris Paul talk on the show because you got to appreciate it. Start appreciating that. Start appreciating Russell Westbrook. Start appreciating Chris Paul. Keep appreciating Giannis Antetokounmpo. Appreciate LeBron. Appreciate the greatness. That's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. Appreciate greatness, guys. Crunch time for playoff time. It's good. It's getting good. Every game is much watch. Every game is must win. Playoff seedings at birth. You don't want to play the play-in game. So much good basketball coming up, guys. It's Eddie. I'll get back to you guys later this week. So good checking in with you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Eddie is out.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.